Thank you. Hi, everyone. I must apologize. I don't have a PowerPoint, first of all. And secondly, I would just like a little disclaimer and just say I like being the last speaker because it'll be short and sweet. It's, it's going to be a conclusion, really, of what everyone has been talking about today and more specifically this afternoon. So, Alistair, I will apologize for my first statement. So, curation is centered on care. I know you talked about it before, but yes. As museum professionals, we are entrusted to care for a diverse range of collections. They themselves present a range of challenges regarding their care and presentation. This is very typical of ethnographic museums. Why is collaboration important in museums? And why is it something that we are talking about today? This is not the first time that we have been at a workshop or a symposium where we discuss how to collaborate, how to co-create, and how to partner with communities and other global cultures. Why does it keep happening? How do we develop and initiate partnerships that are both ethical and sustainable? The background to this matter is acknowledging the problematic histories of museums as being exclusive spaces closed off to some in the past. Minority groups in society often shy away from museums because they feel they do not belong, or there's nothing inside the building connecting or connected to them. There is no representation. Within the colonial context, most museums housing ethnographic objects, which are material representations of world cultures, are complicit recipients of colonial loot. The start of the conversation, therefore, is acknowledging that this is actually the problem and that there were no ethics involved then. So this is why we're here, and this is the background and kind of where we build off in explaining why it is important to co-create and work collaboratively with a diverse range of people in art institutions. While museum professionals are facilitators in collaborations and co-creation, they, or we, should be willing to step back and let communities we engage with take agency. Equitable care means that museums are inclusive and accessible to all. It is essential that historical inequalities and diversity is promoted as well as reflected, not only in the collections, but in workplaces as well. Sharing authority with communities means museums need to reimagine curating in a decolonial context. This means that opening up collections to people and communities who have previously been denied access and yet know so much more about these collections from their lived experiences. Again, this is easier said than done. We should strive to democratize curatorship through re-engaging communities. Through re-engaging communities, we start acknowledging the truth about collections and their origins. We should not shy away from acknowledging colonial histories, ever. Above all, we should strive to create museologies of dialogue. Listen carefully to communities. I would have loved to talk more from my personal experience as Curator of Cultural Empowerment at the Sainsbury Centre. But unfortunately, I've been in my role for only 18 months. And these 18 months have been amazing. I have had the privilege of working on 3 exhibitions, and during this time, I have been intentional in my re-engagement and advocating for the inclusion of minority artists from all over the world. I would like to mention one, a South African photographer, Lindo Kuhle-Subekwa, who only last week won the 2025 Deutsche Börse photography. Lindo was part of a 2-man exhibition exploring heroin use, which I created, titled Heroin Falls. This ran from November 2024 to April 2025. Before I joined the Sainsbury Centre though, there's so many other examples of collaboration and co-creation that I can mention, but I will be brief. Before I joined the Sainsbury Centre, there was the Julian Stair exhibition. This exhibition was titled Art, Death, and the Afterlife. Julian Stair worked with the community in a cathartic collaboration in which members of the community came to the Sainsbury Centre and offered ashes of their departed or deceased. And he used or incorporated those ashes to make ceramic works that were displayed in the exhibition Art, Death, and the Afterlife. So this acted or eventually became like a memorial for the deceased of the community, ensuring that during that whole exhibition, they kept coming back to be with their loved ones. During the exhibition, the dead cafes were introduced, which continue to today. They're informal spaces where all are invited to come and talk about death. These gatherings, much like our climate cafes, have become very successful in helping people of all ages deal with anxieties of both subjects. Our most recent co-creation success, however, was the exhibition Power Plants, which was a co-creation including curators, researchers, academics, and indigenous mural painters from a local tribe in Papua New Guinea. The exhibition explored the role played by stimulants and intoxicants within societies across the globe. Within the same exhibition was a South African artist, Sitemlile Msezane, a Mexican artist, Guadalupe Munoz, sorry, I butchered that, and a Togolese British artist, Devin Southgate Smith. Mr. Yasuhiro Yamaguchi, an Urasenka school tea practitioner, set out a tea room ceremony at the Sainsbury Centre. This is just to show the diverse range of artists, and everyone included this one exhibition. And it was not an exhibition that took over the whole building, but it was in one gallery. The exhibition was a success, probably owing to the number of global cultures it represented. It was amazing to see the wonder and joy on the faces of visitors when they encountered an object from their community or region of the world. Challenges of co-creation. They are challenges that come with co-creation. Giving agency to communities, let alone access to collections, feels like losing power. But it is actually the opposite. Museums gain so much more up-to-date knowledge regarding their collections, their uses, what they have evolved to be in these cultures by opening their collections to communities. Another thing that museums or cultural institutions are afraid of with collaborating or working with local communities is that we are afraid to compromise the quality of exhibitions or quality of work that comes with working with communities. We want the best artists. We want well-known big names, but sometimes it is best to work with our communities, those local or global communities, because the impact is so much more. How do we aspire to be sustainable in our co-creation? Simple. We open up dialogue. We tell the truth about our collections. We are transparent about our collections, what we have in our collections, where they came from. We invite people to come in and see what we have. We give agency to communities. And above all, we give access to the communities. Many times we have been to a workshop such as this one and talked about the same things. Let us, going forward, be intentional about re-engaging local communities and actually listening to them. Co-creation is often used as a tokenistic word to tick that our annual objectives as museums are met. If ethically and sustainably implemented, it has so much more power to change museums. The interpretation of collections, accessibility in terms of new visitors coming in, and representation of global cultures goes way beyond our imagination. And then I just want to give a few examples of what we are currently working on at the Sainsbury Centre, our co-creation or collaborative projects in the pipeworks. One, we have an exhibition coming up in a few months by Maori artist Anton Ford. And before this exhibition opens, we will have the Maori Blessing, where we have 8 members of the Maori tribe being flown in to come and conduct the blessing at the Sainsbury Centre. So again, this is something that is very big for us, because whereas in the past, we could have just opened the exhibition, but we have had conversations, dialogue, where we sat down and acknowledged that it is important for this tribe to have a blessing before the exhibition is open to the public, and it's something that we are really looking forward to. We will be looking at working with refugees during our upcoming killing season. Sorry, it's called the killing season, but it's actually called Can We Stop Killing Each Other? We have an artist residency program in place where we aim to have 2 residencies within the year. And currently, we have a Dutch group that is working in Great Yarmouth with the local communities in a program called Coastal Encounters. And in this, they're conducting workshops with all ages, exploring commonalities in language between coastal towns in the Netherlands and Norfolk Coast in the UK. We have also created what we call a dialogue space that involves anyone and everyone who walks into the building to come and sit down and have both formal and informal conversations, not just about the art, but about anything really that is happening. And there have been quite a big success, and it is great to walk into that space to see people connect, which is something that is not easy for most, but walking into a room and sitting down and finding something to talk about with other people has kind of formed bonds, and it's great to see happening. Oh yeah, that's it. Thank you.